what do you want to say?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Today I'll tell you some plant challenge that I had in the year of 2022 and some lessons that I learned along the way. That's why I'm looking like super well dressed with my Christmas jumper. It's to celebrate the holidays. If you don't believe in Christmas, if you don't celebrate Christmas, nonetheless, I hope you have an amazing end of the year. If you do, I hope you enjoy the time together with your family, friends, or whatever you choose to be with. And more than that, let's start this video. As you can see, I have here with me one of the, I believe, one of my successful case. That's my cattleya that is still in bloom, by the way. I've recorded the video about it, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now the flowers are finally fading, but I'm so happy that I have a large cattleya in bloom. It's been a while, so that's why I decided to start the video holding this plant, because for me it's one of the successful cases of 2022. But I will start with some of my challenges. If you follow me here on YouTube, you probably know some of them, because I've been talking about them for the whole year. So one of them is pests. Since I discovered I had a huge infestation of thrips, I don't know when, but thrips has been with me for the whole year, and the case got worse and worse and worse. I lost many plants because of thrips. I tried to treat them with natural pesticides or leaf shine and everything. The problem is you have to be spraying the plants all the time, because thrips, they have a cycle and it's really hard for you to get rid of them. So I decided, I don't know when, maybe 2-3 months ago, when I came back from Brazil, I bought some pesticide, like a systemic pesticide, and I applied in all of the plants that were in my bedroom and in the bathroom. I couldn't apply to the whole collection. First of all, they are pretty toxic. I live in a flat, so the window is very small, and it was quite hard to keep like the window open and to make sure that I had to clean up everything afterwards. And because of the amount of plants that I have, it was really hard to spray everything. So I didn't have time to spray these ones. So they are still infested, and it's really hard to keep on top of them. And I have some other pests as well, not only thrips. Thrip is the worst of them, but for me, that's the biggest challenge. From the moment that you start receiving more plants and your collection grow, it's inevitable. You're gonna have some pests. That's the biggest challenge, because I work full time, I have a daughter, so I don't have only YouTube. On top of everything else, it was really hard to keep like watering my plants, spraying them, making sure they are clean, or trying to clean them. And on the way, I lost a few plants. Some of the plants that I really love and adore, others not so much, but it was part of the process. So for me, it was the biggest challenge with my plants, was to be on top of pests and making them look clean, clear, not suffering, and also being able to produce blooms and grow healthily. It consumes your time, so for me that's the worst. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do in 2022. I may look for some systemic pesticides as well, but something that I don't have to spray leaf by leaf, because I don't have time for this. I don't make any money with these videos, so my main source of income is my full-time job. So I work for the whole week. During the weekends, I have to prepare videos, organize, water my plants, look after them, and also I have my daughter, so between homeworks and things, so like treating the pests, I don't have time for it. And that was the biggest challenge of 2022. I hope you don't have to deal with the same thing, but if you do, if you have experienced pests before, let me know down below. I'd love to hear your stories. Let's talk about something else, and I'm gonna put this down because this is very heavy. It's a massive plant. I have my phalaenopsis here. Oh my gosh, this jumper is warm, very warm, and today it's not very cold in London. Great. It's like maybe 12, 15 degrees Celsius, something like that. It's amazing. Since last week was -4 Celsius. I put the Fahrenheit here as well, but it was very, very cold, so now it's much warmer. Anyway, as I told you in another video, my Phalaenopsis, they are all blooming already. It's not the most spectacular show yet because the buds are still opening. But oh my god, in January, wait and see. I'm gonna have what's blooming in my indoor garden, and you're gonna see beautiful Phalaenopsis in bloom. Anyway, so the second challenge for me was about space. What happened between 2020 and 2021 with the pandemic, staying at home all the time, it was much easier, I think, to look after my plants. And I acquired many plants, and I slowed down this year. So the amount of hauls, the amount of plants that I got, it's much, much less than before. And why? Because I don't have space for them. I don't have space for more plants. And I know that lots of people say that, but in my case, it's like actually the truth. I have the space here where we are at the moment where I'm filming. I have my bedroom and the bathroom, and I know that's a lot, and it's a big collection. So for me, it's like how I'm going to organize them in a way that I can offer the proper condition for everything to grow. Because I realized that I couldn't keep buying more plants, and then I don't have space for them, and I don't have appropriate light for them in order for them to grow and bloom properly. So how to keep my collection tidy, small, or at least in a size that I can manage? That's what I realized, because it comes to the same thing that I was telling you before. I have a pretty busy life outside my plants and my indoor collection of plants. So I don't have all the time in the world to look after them. I'd love to spend more time with my plants, but that's what I realized, that I don't have space. So when I'm buying plants, I'm being pretty conscious about what I can keep now and where I'm going to place them, and if that's something that I really, really want. So that was a challenge and also a lesson, because now if I want to acquire new orchids, I want to have a wish list with orchids that I think are really, really important for me. And also I gave away some of the plants, house plants and orchids that I thought, oh, I don't really enjoy them so much. So I know that someone will enjoy them more. So I gave some to one of my friends. I have a friend, sometimes when I look to a plant, I say, oh, I don't have the time. And so I decided to give it to her, which is perfect because I know she will devote her time to the plants, the time that I cannot devote. And maybe it's not that special for me anymore, which is okay as well. But I don't want to keep swapping my plants, so I want to be very conscious with the things that I buy and that I want to keep. I don't want to keep buying just to fulfill something. I want to buy things that I will really enjoy, in my own pace. That's very personal, but that was one of my challenges and one of the lessons that I learned in 2022. I know that I'm showing the same plants that you probably have seen in the last videos, but the other plants that I have, they are in my bedroom, and I cannot bring them here because remember I have pests in here. My bedroom plants, they are clean, so I intend to keep them there. I cannot display them here because otherwise I will mix them up and I'll have more pests. So that's why I'm showing you the same plants that I've seen before. I'm gonna make sure I will film the ones inside for you to see what's blooming inside my indoor garden, but just to explain why I'm repeating the plants. Okay, so the next challenge for me was material, medium to pot my orchids in. What I noticed is I didn't have the knowledge and I didn't know where to buy good medium for my orchids. When I started, that's pretty normal, but I bought pretty bad quality of moss that gave me lots of mold inside my pots, and the medium, pretty bad quality of bark, so which degraded pretty fast, and I had to repot everyone. So this year I repotted so many plants, and again, it's time consuming. It's part of the learning curve, so that's why it was one of the challenges and one of the things that I learned. It's very important for you to try to research good quality of mix for your plants where you live. So, for example, sphagnum moss, if you can find New Zealand sphagnum moss, the dry one, because it is dry, it was not going to be affected by mold and other pathogens in the air. When it's humid, it's easier to have bacteria and I don't know, fungi inside the mix. So, very important if you can buy dry moss, that's one tip that I would give to you. And also, try to find good quality of bark that you look at the pieces and you can see they are quite sturdy and dry. So look for maybe orchiada bark, but if it's very expensive, look for orchid bark and try to experiment with them. Look how the mix arrived at your house and if it will last. So nowadays I am more focused on buying better quality of bark and moss than the cheapest ones because they were giving me more headaches than actually saving me more time and energy. And the fact that I had to rebuy, to repot everything, I was spending more than saving money. So that was also one of the challenges and one of the things that I learned in 2022. But it's great. It's part of the learning process, as I said. And I hope you can use some of these tips because maybe if you are starting now, there are things that we don't think a lot, how important they are. But if I can give you some advice, try to see very good quality of bark and moss if you use them or the mix that you enjoy using with your plants. Talking about, I think, in regarding to my plants, that were like the biggest challenge. And one of the challenges that I have now is that I don't have time to post frequently very often on Instagram, for example. I remember last year I had more time to post pictures of my plants on Instagram and update you there every day, for example. But now I'm posting there when I have something new and exciting, but I cannot post stories and posts every day. It's not good for my mental health as well because I feel like I was feeling the pressure that I have to do that. I have to advertise, or maybe I don't know, I have to go to TikTok and I had to create content all the time for this. So that's one of the challenges. Like I cannot do that. My mental health, like with all the amount of things that I have to do, I felt I'm a very anxious person and I suffer with anxiety and other mental health issues. And you have to understand your limit, you know, where you can go. And that's one of the things that I learned. Like I don't have time, and for my own well-being, I'm not able to do that on a regular and an everyday basis. I have to choose where I'm putting my focus on. So I will keep recording videos and uploading videos like twice a week. And I will definitely post things there as well when I have something new. But I learned that I need to respect my own space and take a little bit slow. Give me some space and time. That's very important for me to breathe. And it's more about respecting myself and respecting my own limits. I've already said that, but just for you to understand where I come from. And that's okay, that's fine. I mean, you still see beautiful pictures. When I have time, I will post them here, there, and here. And also, I will keep creating short videos about my blooms and about my plants. But if you notice that something happened that I'm not posting there, or I love the plant community. I have very good friends in there, people that I exchange like good messages. And amazing, apparently I don't know them personally, but they seem to be really, really nice people. And what's amazing, I think what the orchids brought me is like the plant community as a whole. Like people here that also leave comments and always tell me stories about their plants and what's happening, and also share their experience with me. I love to hear you. You know who you are. I love when you send me messages and you share your experience. It makes me feel appreciated, and also that means that someone is listening to my videos. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's amazing. So yeah, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you have followed me here, if you have followed me on Instagram, if you have enjoyed any of the content, not everything, I'm also learning. So it was the first year that I joined YouTube. I and it's pretty hard to talk in front of the camera when you start, and I think now I'm getting the grip of it. But thank you very much for being here and to listen to me. And maybe like if you like the video, if you left a comment, I want you to know that you appreciate it, and thank you very, very much. That's it actually. That's everything that I want to tell you today. This for some of my challenges. Probably there are more there, but that's some of the challenges that I remember and that I want to share with you. And let me know which ones you identify with, or which challenge are you facing with your plants or in your personal life. You can always leave a comment down below. I would love to read your message, and let's keep in touch. I will also post a video next week. I think I will create a list of my wish list. Create a list of my wish list. Perfect. But I will tell you which plants are my wish list plants. If I am to buy some plants, which ones are they? So if you're curious about that, maybe next week we'll see something. I'm spending the holidays here in London, so I'm not going anywhere. It's very useful, so I will be able to post at least one video next week. I hope you have enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.